Hello everyone, myself MS Bhagavademan, Assistant Professor, AIDS Department, Subject Code AD3391, Database Design and Management, Unit-1. Topic name is Entity Relationship Model. In this topic, we are going to discuss about Entity Relationship Model and ER diagrams. Entity Relationship Data Model. Entity Relationship Data Model is a classical, popular, conceptual data model and first introduced as a improvement to the relational model. Pictorial diagrams are easier to read than relational database schemas. Then evolved as a popular model for the first conceptual representation of data structures in the process of database design. Entity and entity set. Considering the above example, student is an entity, teacher is an entity, similarly class, subject, etc. also entities. An entity is generally a real world object which has characteristics and whole relationship in DBMS. If a student is an entity, then the complete data set of all students will be entity set. Attributes. If a student is an entity, then student's roll number, student's name, student age, student gender, etc. will be his attributes. An attribute can be of many types. Here are different types of attributes defined in your database model. Types of attribute. First one, symbol attribute. The attributes with the values that are atomic and cannot be broken down further are symbol attributes. For example, student's age. Composite attribute. A composite attribute is made up of more than one symbol attribute. For example, student's address will contain house number, street name, pin code, etc. Then derived attribute. These are the attributes which are not present in the whole database management system but are derived using other attributes. For example, average age of students in a class. Then fourth one, single valued attribute. As the name suggests, they have a single value, multi-value attribute, and they can have multiple values. Relationship. When an entity is related to another entity, they are said to have a relationship. For example, a class entity is related to student entity because students study in classes. Hence, this is a relationship. Depending upon the number of entities involved, a degree is assigned to relationship. Working with ER diagrams. ER diagram is a visual representation of data that describes how data is related to each other. In ER model, we disintegrate data into entities, attributes, and set up relationship between entities. All this can be represented visually using the ER diagram. Then components of ER diagram. Entity, attributes, relationship, etc. form a components of ER diagram. And the shapes to represent each one of them. Entity symbol rectangular box represent as entity. Then the diamond box which is represented as a relationship. Then double diamond box which is represented as weak relationship. Then the oval shape or ellipse shape, it is used to represent as attribute. Then weak entity is represented using double rectangular boxes. It is generally connected to another entity. Then key attribute, the in ellipse shape, the underline symbol is represented as key attribute. Then derived attribute. Derived attributes are those which are derived based on their attributes. For example, age can be derived from date of birth. To represent derived attribute, another dotted ellipse is created inside the main ellipse. Multi-valued attribute for an entity. Double ellipse, one inside another, represent the attribute which can have multiple values. Then composite attribute for any entity. A composite attribute is the attribute which also has more than two ellipses. The ER diagram. Uh, this diagram is represented as a binary relationship diagram, which have one to one relationship, then one to many, many to one, many to many relationship. One to many relationship. The below example is mentioned as a one to many relationship. Then many to one relationship. This is the example of many to one relationship. then many to many relationship. The above diagram represent that one student can enroll for more than one courses, and a course can have more than one student enroll in it. Thank you.